Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're exploring this idea of returning to God, getting to know Him better.
We're drawing from that piece, return to the Lord and know Him.
Right, specifically looking at Hosea chapter 6, verses 1 to 11.
And that key line in verse 3, let us acknowledge the Lord. Let us press on to acknowledge Him. It's quite direct.
It is. And our goal really is to unpack this invitation.
Yeah.
See it not as something based on fear,
But more as an opportunity, a hopeful chance for renewal, for a deeper connection.
Exactly. And finding some practical things we can, take into our daily lives from it.
So first off, this call in Hosea to return, what's really striking is the context.
Yeah.
It comes after failings, after mistakes. It's not, you messed up, stay away. It's a welcome back.
Okay, so less condemnation, more beckoning towards healing.
Precisely. And the promise of restoration is so vivid there, it compares God's mercy to things you can count on.
Like the sunrise?
Yeah, the sunrise, the winter rains, the spring rains, things that bring life and refreshment reliably.
That paints a picture of consistency, doesn't it?
Yeah.
God's presence being life-giving, always there.
It does. So for you listening, even when you feel you've fallen short, maybe drifted, the message here is strong. God's desire is actually to heal you, to restore that connection.
So it's not about achieving perfection first, then coming back.
Not at all. It's an ongoing work He wants to do, even in moments where you might feel weak or, far off.
Okay, that's encouraging. And does the source give any pointers on how to sort of respond to that?
It does. It suggests some pretty concrete actions, like turning back to God right away after a mistake, no delay.
Okay, don't wallow in it.
Right. And actively seeking to know Him better each day. Pressing on, like the verse says.
Pressing on, I like that.
Trusting. He's working, even if you can't see it right then. And it even mentions using scripture memorization as a practical tool.
Oh, interesting. Like embedding that truth for renewal.
Exactly. Tangible ways to engage with that invitation to return and be healed.
Okay, so that's the first big takeaway. God welcomes us back. He wants to heal. But then there's a second lesson, right, about our response.
Yes. This shifts the focus a bit. The source points out that, Israel might have been saying the right words.
Going through the motions.
Kind of. But God's looking for something deeper, a genuine heart connection, real love, not just routine.
Ah, so they had the rituals down, perhaps.
Yeah.
But the love, the commitment, it was shallow, fading quickly.
That seems to be the point. It compares their love to morning mist, gone almost as soon as it appears.
Ouch. That's quite an image.
It is. And it highlights this contrast. God values sincere love and faithfulness. Halind is the Hebrew word often used.
Loving kindness, steadfast love.
Right. That's what He desires. Much more than just empty religious practices or surface-level stuff.
So the motivation behind our actions matters immensely.
Absolutely. It's about why you're doing it. Is it obligation or is it rooted in genuine love?
And that makes sense. Because service or worship done out of shared duty can feel, draining sometimes.
But when it flows from love, the source suggests it actually enriches your life. And it brings joy to God, too.
That's a powerful thought. Our heartfelt worship bringing God joy.
It is. And the source gives ideas on cultivating that. Consistent prayer is key.
Okay.
And being honest in that prayer. God values truth in the inner being, authenticity.
No pretending.
No pretending. And also encouraging others towards that real personal relationship with Jesus, not just checking boxes.
Focusing on the heart of it, not just the external actions.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So wrapping this up then, the core message from these excerpts feels like a really profound invitation.
Definitely, to bring your whole self, your whole heart to God, opening up for renewal, for that deeper connection.
And we've kind of unpacked two main ideas here.
First, God's incredible welcome, how He wants to heal those who are broken, who return to Him.
That hopeful message we started with.
Exactly. And second, His deep desire for our genuine love and faithfulness, something that goes way beyond just religious routine.
He wants our hearts, not just our habits.
Well put.
So maybe a final thought for you to consider. Where in your own life might you be leaning on familiar routines, maybe religious habits, without that deep, heartfelt connection driving them?
It's a good question to ponder.
And following on from that, what's maybe one small step, just one thing you could do today to start bridging that gap to connect more genuinely?
Just one step towards that deeper knowing He invites us to.
Something to think about. Thanks for exploring this with us today.